Everybody, Jason Burmis here, and just when you think the Epstein case can't get more bizarre, and believe me, I'm just waiting for it to surpass what we're finding out today. But we're going to analyze it. We're going to see what it means. But what you're looking at behind me, I know there's a little photoshoppings in there, but it seems to be the real deal that somebody in one of Epstein's estates snapped a shot of a giant wall-size mural of Bill Clinton in the Oval Office wearing a blue dress with ruby red high heel pumps on. I mean, wow. Just unbelievable that, you know, people are like, what is it based on a real photo? I highly doubt that Bill Clinton was prancing around in a blue dress. I know some people have pointed out maybe the similarities of the Monica Lewinsky dress, and maybe it symbolizes that, you know, that blackmail operation. A lot of people have talked about that being an actual blackmail op, the Lewinsky, what led to an impeachment of a president over lying about sex with an intern in the Oval Office. But yeah, don't take my word for it. This case just could not get any weirder, right? Well, it just did. Exclusive. Did Jeffrey Epstein have a painting of Bill Clinton wearing a blue dress and red heels and lounging in the Oval Office inside his Manhattan mansion? Visitor reveals bizarre image inside pedo's $56 million lair. All right, and we'll skip all the little headlines because they often repeat right there, but we're getting to the peeky poo. Let's read some of this article. So that's supposedly the shot. That's the doorway. And what we've got here is apparently the mural on the wall. Who knows? Maybe this is photoshopped. I'm not saying it's absolutely valid. Let's get in there. If you take one over, they'll zoom in for you. They show you the blue dress, the presidential seals here at the bottom, and obviously it's Bill Clinton. I can't see that being anybody else, right? So let's read it really quick, and then we're going to get up to the other really bizarre aspects of this case. Now we're finding out that supposedly the guards on duty fell asleep and they hadn't checked on him for hours, and that's what led to everything. That's the excuse they're using. They're put on leave. Ghislaine Maxwell has been supposedly found living with yet another very rich man over in Boston, who happens to be a member of the Council on Foreign Relations, by the way. So let's read this. Jeffrey Epstein had a bizarre portrait which appeared to be of Bill Clinton in a dress hanging from his Manhattan mansion. Daily Mail TV can reveal the picture depicting the former president apparently lounging in a chair in the Oval Office wearing red heels and posing suggestively in a blue dress. Reticent of Monica Lewinsky was in a room off the stairway of the Upper East Side townhouse. The dress is also strikingly similar to the one worn by Hillary Clinton at the 2009 Kennedy Center honors. Okay, so take your pick. The painting was secretly snapped inside the pedophile's lavish $56 million home in October of 2012, 4 years after Epstein completed his sweetheart deal for prostitution of minors. The source, who asked to remain anonymous, was visiting Epstein to present a business proposal. An encounter with the pervert, which included spotting a girl who seemed to be 14, waiting to see the financier. But you didn't say anything then, did you, buddy? Whoever this... Of course you want to remain anonymous. Kept your mouth shut. You wanted that money. See how this works? The woman said she was shocked to catch sight... Oh, so this is a woman who was there. Interesting. Sight of the portrait through an open door as she walked through the ornate home with her business partner. She told Daily Mail TV, it was absolutely Bill Clinton. It was shocking. It was definitely a painting of him. It was a very provocative sexual picture. He was wearing heels, a blue dress, and had his hand in a weird position. So yeah, like, I know it looks like his hand supposedly on his mouth here, but actually it might, like, that might be a finger off to the side over his mouth. I didn't know, I didn't spend that much time in Photoshop with it. I just kind of grabbed it to put into the thumbnail. But you got to ask yourself, we know that Bill Clinton was on, the plane. Trump is openly talking about him being on the island. It seems to me like he has that information. A lot of people have talked about that. They've talked about the possibility of Hillary being on the island. Now, that information comes from Eric Prince. I don't know whether it's true or not, but I'm putting it out there because these sources in the past have come true. To have that, you would feel like that's a power move. Like, I own a president, and it's because of this. And he had somebody paint a picture of it as a reminder. Just making this case that much crazier. Okay? So the warden of the jail where Jeffrey Epstein died is reassigned, and 2 guards tasked to watch him are placed on administrative leave after billionaire pedophile's apparent suicide. Now, apparently there's also some conflicting reporting going on as to who the previous warden was that's being replaced. Again, before I report on that, I really want to look at both sources and see if there was just a mistake in there. But so many bizarre things going on in this case. Obviously, even before that first suicide attempt, I went back to the initial video. Where is it? Let's see. That's the bail hearing where he gets arrested right here. And I was watching UFC. We're talking about an hour within the report. And I turned to my brother. And my brother didn't say he was going to get suicided. He's like, there's no way they're ever going to prosecute him. He's never going to get prosecuted. And, I mean, in a sense, I guess they indicted him. But it really never went to court. He can't be wrong about that. And it's pretty disturbing on that front. So, they've been reassigned, okay? They're not really new. I mean, we've seen some of these pictures before like this one, but there's some new ones here where if you see this young girl, that's Virginia Maxwell Guffrey. Here she is very young at this party. Here she is on a boat with all these elitists. So, again, one of these girls didn't fit, and it was the one that was, a 14, 15, 16-year-old girl hanging out with this high society. So they're saying that the guards fell asleep. It's true. That's the report. We're supposed to believe this. That's the next part. Guards at the jail where Jeffrey Epstein was held fell asleep and failed to check on him for about 3 hours when he is believed to have killed himself with no cameras around whatsoever. Several law enforcement and prison officials familiar with the matter confirmed reports that the 2 guards falsified records to cover up their mistake, according to the newspaper. So then they faked reports afterwards. Interesting. Both guards were placed on administrative leave Tuesday, the same day the Justice Department announced and ordered the Bureau of Prisons to temporarily reassign the warden at the Manhattan Federal Prison. Epstein, who was accused of sex trafficking, died of an apparent suicide Saturday morning. Okay? He was placed on suicide watch after another incident weeks earlier. The day after he was deemed no longer a threat to his own life, the disgraced financier was found dead. I don't know if that's a confirmed report yet. I have not seen confirmation of that. I'd need to see it. So, to repeat myself from the very beginning, so she's living on this $3 million oceanfront place outside of Boston with a 43-year-old tech CEO. Apparently, right around this area, this is the guy that she's living with. So right away, this guy should be suspect. Also a Council on Foreign Relations member. But the idea that this woman hasn't been picked up and had all of her assets seized is reprehensible and despicable and beyond the pale as well. We've been going over those documents, and right now, I know that making the rounds here, you're seeing a lot of this stuff. For instance, this is another thing that we really did need to cover. It's that after weeks of silence, ex-Miami Beach Mayor Levine says he has no idea how Jeffrey Epstein got 13 numbers for him, his housekeeper, driver, assistants, home address, email, etc., in his little black book. And there he is right there hanging out with Billy the Kid Clinton. Now, there is a, let's look for it really quick. I should see if I can open it. I'm going to open it. This is how we do it here. We do it quick. We do it on the fly. There it is, the unredacted black book. So, now, the only real difference that I've seen here is that, let me see if we can get to 100%, is that all the phone numbers and stuff are available, addresses. So, but that's not going to let people contact people like journalists. I like that be able to locate properties, where they went to afterwards, who they were sealed to. But as you can see, the little black book has now been released and unsealed, unredacted. So here you go, guys. It's out there. 95 pages of the whole shebango. And that's only part of this 2,000 plus page data dump. So once again, just when you thought it couldn't get weirder, we've got a large mural of Clinton in a dress that may signify the Monica Lewinsky scandal. We don't know. That's speculation. But remember, a lot of people said that was an intelligence blackmail operation leading back to Israel and the Mossad. Monica Lewinsky did have connections to Israel, for sure. I know that that's a bad thing to say, but again, with a guy who had a fake passport, who in the 80s is connected to Khashoggi, who dealt arms to Israel for this like CIA plot called Iran-Contra, I think that's an important connection, at least to look at, right? And Acosta not being able to answer the question, Vicky Ward putting it out there that he was an intelligence officer. I mean, this would point to a lot of it. And it would point to how they help fund things after the fact, because obviously Epstein is financially connected to, I believe it's the Clinton Initiative, right? So we know that he donated back in the 90s. We know they lied about that connection. We know he was on the plane a lot more than he said, right? And now we know that he had a giant portrait in his New York mansion of Bill Clinton in a dress in the Oval Office. You thought it was Cartoon World before. You had no idea what you were getting into in this video. So if you're new to the game here, we do 3, 4, 5, 6, sometimes 7 videos a day while we are at the forefront of the Epstein case, as we were the Nexium case, which I hope people aren't forgetting about and people check out my work retroactively on that. We just did a great video on how Bill Gates wants to block the sun. No, that's not a joke. It's not a Simpsons episode. He's not trying to parody Mr. Burns. But how I talked about this stuff in one of my films from 2013 that I did with Shepard Ambellis, called Shade the Motion Picture. So guys, please thumbs this video up, share it, join the Burmese Brigade, ring that bell for notifications, and if you can, I got 3 more days, or two or three more days, I think 3 more days left in this GoFundMe, guys, and trying to get to $5,000. I don't know if we're going to get there. I would really love to get to at least $4,000. This is all I'm doing. I'm doing it 7 days a week, and it's not about left or right. It's always been about right and wrong. I'm always going to bring both sides of the story to you. I am not a partisan politician hack. I'm not some pundit that placates to what people want. You're going to disagree with me sometimes, and that's okay. I hope we can still be friends. That being said, also, it seems that I am going to be facilitating a debate. Hopefully, I've got an okay from both parties. It may be a couple weeks down the line. I'm not quite sure. But between Gabe Hoffman of An Open Secret and Whitney Webb of Mint Press News. Okay, and I'm excited to do it because I want to hear both sides of the story. I've heard some opinions. I admire both of their work. And again, we're not here to just feed into one perspective. I want to hear from everybody. And I think to get all the information on the table is the only way to do that. So guys, thank you so much. And I will see you all on the flip side.